The electronic version of the 2005 National Electrical Code Handbook can be loaded on your computer and run without the compact disc after installation. Regarding installing on multiple devices, the National Electrical Code Handbook license agreement typically allows for installation on one computer or mobile device at a time. Installing the handbook on both your desktop and laptop without purchasing 2 copies may violate the license agreement. However, you may be able to move the installation between devices by deactivating it on one device before installing it on the other. It is recommended to contact the vendor or distributor from whom the handbook was purchased to inquire about this specific license agreement. It is also recommended to consider purchasing the handbook separately for both devices if it is necessary to have it installed and running simultaneously on both. The National Electrical Code, often abbreviated as NEC, is a regionally adoptable standard for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. It is part of the National Fire Codes series published by the National Fire Protection Association, often referred to as the NFPA. While it is not itself a United States law, the NEC is commonly mandated by state or local law in many jurisdictions. It is intended to standardize safe electrical practices. The NEC is updated and published every 3 years. The 2005 version would have been superseded by later editions. Always ensure you are using the most current version adopted by your local jurisdiction. If you are performing electrical work, it's essential to consult the specific edition of the NEC adopted by your local authority, as well as any local amendments to the code. The NEC covers a wide range of electrical topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It provides detailed requirements for ensuring electrical safety and preventing fire hazards. The handbook version of the NEC typically includes the full text of the code along with explanatory material and illustrations to aid in understanding and applying the code requirements. This makes it a valuable resource for electricians, electrical contractors, inspectors, and other professionals working in the electrical industry. When using the NEC, it is important to understand the definitions and terminology used throughout the code. The code defines specific terms and provides explanations of how these terms are used in the context of the code. Understanding these definitions is crucial for correctly interpreting and applying the code requirements. The NEC is organized into chapters, articles, and sections. Each chapter covers a broad topic, such as general requirements, wiring and protection, wiring methods and materials, equipment for general use, special occupancies, special equipment, and special conditions. Within each chapter, articles provide more specific requirements for particular aspects of the topic. Sections provide detailed rules and regulations for specific situations. When using the NEC, it is important to follow a systematic approach to finding the relevant requirements. Start by identifying the specific type of electrical work you are performing, such as wiring a new circuit, installing a new appliance, or modifying an existing electrical system. Then, consult the appropriate chapter and article in the NEC to find the requirements that apply to your situation. Within each article, carefully read the sections to find the specific rules and regulations that you must follow. In addition to the NEC, there may be other codes and standards that apply to electrical work in your jurisdiction. These may include local building codes, fire codes, and other regulations. It is important to be aware of all applicable codes and standards and to comply with all requirements. Electrical work can be dangerous if not performed correctly. It is important to follow all safety precautions and to use appropriate tools and equipment. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it is best to hire a licensed electrician. When working with electricity, always to energize the circuit before beginning work. This can be done by turning off the circuit breaker or removing the fuse that supplies power to the circuit. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized before touching any wires or equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Avoid working in wet or damp conditions. Use insulated tools to prevent electrical shock. Follow all manufacturer's instructions for installing and using electrical equipment. Inspect electrical wiring and equipment regularly for damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn components promptly. Do not overload electrical circuits. This can cause overheating and potentially lead to a fire. Use the correct size and type of wire for the circuit. Ensure that all electrical connections are tight and secure. Properly ground all electrical equipment. This helps to protect against electrical shock. Install ground fault circuit interrupters, often referred to as GFCIs, in areas where there is a risk of electrical shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. Test GFCIs regularly to ensure that they are functioning properly. Be aware of the potential hazards of working with electricity and take steps to minimize the risks. If you are not sure how to perform a particular electrical task safely, consult a qualified electrician. The NEC provides specific requirements for grounding and bonding of electrical systems. Grounding is the connection of electrical equipment to the earth. Bonding is the connection of different metal parts of the electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current. Grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety. They help to protect against electrical shock and to prevent fire hazards. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment be grounded unless it is specifically listed as double insulated. Double insulated equipment has 2 layers of insulation between the electrical conductors and the user, which provides additional protection against electrical shock. The NEC also provides requirements for the size and type of grounding conductors. The size of the grounding conductor must be based on the size of the circuit conductors. The grounding conductor must be made of copper or other approved material. The NEC requires that all metal parts of the electrical system be bonded together. This includes metal conduit, metal enclosures, and metal equipment housings. Bonding helps to create a low impedance path for fault current, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and to energize the circuit in the event of a fault. The NEC provides requirements for the size and type of bonding conductors. The size of the bonding conductor must be based on the size of the circuit conductors. The bonding conductor must be made of copper or other approved material. The NEC also provides requirements for the installation of grounding and bonding conductors. Grounding and bonding conductors must be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner. They must be protected from damage and corrosion. They must be securely connected to the electrical equipment and to the grounding electrode system. The NEC provides specific requirements for overcurrent protection of electrical circuits. Overcurrent protection is the use of circuit breakers or fuses to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. Overloads occur when the current in a circuit exceeds the ampacity of the conductors. Short circuits occur when there is a direct connection between 2 or more conductors. Overcurrent protection is essential for electrical safety. It helps to prevent overheating, fires, and damage to electrical equipment. The NEC requires that all electrical circuits be protected by overcurrent devices. The overcurrent device must be sized to protect the conductors from overloads and short circuits. The NEC provides tables that specify the maximum allowable ampacity of different types of conductors. The overcurrent device must be rated to trip at or below the ampacity of the conductors. The NEC also provides requirements for the type of overcurrent device that must be used in different applications. For example, some circuits may require the use of circuit breakers, while others may require the use of fuses. Circuit breakers are resettable overcurrent devices that can be tripped manually or automatically. Fuses are one-time overcurrent devices that must be replaced after they have tripped. The NEC provides requirements for the installation of overcurrent devices. Overcurrent devices must be installed in readily accessible locations. They must be protected from damage and corrosion. They must be properly labeled to indicate the circuit that they protect. The NEC provides specific requirements for wiring methods and materials. Wiring methods refer to the way that electrical conductors are installed and supported. Materials refer to the types of conductors, insulation, and other components used in electrical wiring systems. The NEC requires that all electrical wiring be installed in accordance with approved wiring methods. Approved wiring methods include conduit, cable, and surface raceway. Conduit is a rigid metal or plastic tube that is used to protect electrical conductors. Cable is a flexible assembly of two or more conductors that are insulated and enclosed in a protective sheath. Surface raceway is a metal or plastic channel that is mounted on the surface of a wall or ceiling and used to enclose electrical conductors. The NEC provides requirements for the types of conductors that can be used in different applications. Conductors must be made of copper or other approved material. They must be insulated to prevent electrical shock. The type of insulation must be appropriate for the voltage and temperature of the circuit. The NEC also provides requirements for the size of conductors. The size of the conductors must be based on the ampacity of the circuit. The NEC provides requirements for the installation of wiring methods and materials. Wiring methods and materials must be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner. They must be protected from damage and corrosion. They must be securely supported and fastened. The NEC provides specific requirements for equipment for general use. Equipment for general use includes items such as lighting fixtures, receptacles, switches, and appliances. The NEC requires that all equipment for general use be listed by a recognized testing laboratory. Listed equipment has been tested and found to be safe for its intended use. The NEC provides requirements for the installation of equipment for general use. Equipment for general use must be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. It must be properly grounded. It must be protected from damage and corrosion. The NEC provides specific requirements for special occupancies. Special occupancies are locations that have unique electrical requirements, such as hazardous locations, healthcare facilities, and swimming pools. Hazardous locations are locations where there is a risk of fire or explosion due to the presence of flammable gases, vapors, or dusts. Healthcare facilities are locations where patients are treated, such as hospitals and nursing homes. Swimming pools are locations where there is a risk of electrical shock due to the presence of water. The NEC provides additional requirements for electrical installations in special occupancies to ensure safety. These requirements may include the use of explosion-proof equipment, isolated power systems, and ground fault circuit interrupters, often referred to as GFCIs. The NEC provides specific requirements for special equipment. Special equipment includes items such as electric signs, elevators, and X-ray equipment. The NEC provides additional requirements for electrical installations involving special equipment to ensure safety. These requirements may include the use of special wiring methods, overcurrent protection, and grounding. The NEC provides specific requirements for special conditions. Special conditions are situations that may affect the safety of electrical installations, such as exposure to corrosive environments, high temperatures, or vibration. The NEC provides additional requirements for electrical installations in special conditions to ensure safety. These requirements may include the use of corrosion-resistant materials, high-temperature conductors, and vibration-resistant equipment.